So like you hear of how he might have recorded, but I was blown away because when we started recording 3121, it wasn't even really like an album. Like no one knows that he never had an idea to record the album. So let me please let everyone know that. Mm-hmm. So it started with the house parties. Once again, I was born in the 80s, so I don't really know too much about Prince and his work ethic and stuff like that. And I remember I would get calls from people that I'd never even met, and they would be like, hey, congratulations, but. And when I started working with him, I knew it was a spiritual connection because we kept doing these house parties. Mm-hmm. And he would come up to me and he would laugh and he'd be like, Tamar, people are asking me, who are you? And I'm purposely not saying your name. Right. And so he would laugh it off. And cause it was like he didn't even know what he was doing. He was just having fun. And so every time, the tabloids would say there was this girl that was performing at the house parties. And then no lie. We were at, what is it called? The recording facility, the rehearsal facility, Burbank Rehearsal Studios. Right. It's by Burbank Airport where everybody rehearses. Mm-hmm. And we were rehearsing. It was me, Cora, Josh, Morris, and Frank McComb. Right. And I'll never forget it. I got a call and I heard he was just like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm in rehearsal, the rehearsal that you have us in. And he was like, oh, well, can you get on a flight tomorrow and come do some recordings? And I said, of course, okay. So I kept flying out there. I would leave our rehearsals from L.A. and fly to Minneapolis, and we would just record. I think we were recording The Word. I think we started recording maybe Incense and Candles before I was really on Incense and Candles. Mm-hmm. And then by that third or fifth trip, he was like, what do you want? Do you want to record your own album? And I was just looking at him like, okay. Everything was just like, do you want to do this? I'd be like, okay. Do you want to do this? I was like, okay. And so 3121 was being created while I kept flying there. And he never said, I'm doing an album. We just kept working and writing. So when we got to Beautiful, Loved, and Blessed, he was like, Tamar, I want you to write something very deep. And I said, okay. He was like, I want you to go deep, like real deep. Think about something no one's writing about. So I went to Studio B, and I started writing. He would come check on me, and finally he was just like, no, go deeper. When I wrote Beautiful, Loved, and Blessed, he was just like, that's it. And so I recorded it. He let me record in Studio A by myself. I was in the console room because that's how he recorded. He recorded by himself in Studio A inside the console room. Mm-hmm. And by the time I recorded it, he was like, okay, I'm going to lay a verse. Can I lay a verse? And I was like, okay. And so I'm leaving, and he says, no, stay in here. I want you to record me. When I tell you, I almost cried. Uh-huh. I was like, record you? What do you mean record you? He's like, Tamar, just press record. Just record me. And so he sang the second verse in the higher pitch. Right. And he said, do you like that? And I said, well, let me hear it in your lower natural tone. And then he sang it in the natural tone, and he was in tears, and I was in tears. And I was like, that's it. It's golden. And, just thinking about it, the man was so, like, for me, I don't know how he was with anyone else, but he was family. Mm-hmm. The man allowed me to see him in his natural state. We joked all the time. We laughed all the time. If I had a business manager by the name of Joe Kelley, he ended up working with Joe Kelley. Right, if I liked caramel frappuccinos, he would say, what's that? And I'll say what it is. And next thing you know, I would come in the studio and there would be two of them. Wow. Like, that's just who he was. Right. He loved my ideas. He let me create the show that we did on the tour. He let me, compile the album in the way it was going. He would say, Tamar, what colors are we wearing on tonight's performance? Sometimes he would pull up and we were wearing the same colors. Like, it was the craziest time of my life. And I could only say thank you to God for that opportunity.